is up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to Dinner Time with Ethan. As you can see, I'm going to pull you guys just a little bit closer. We're going to tilt the camera this way because we've got a little bit going on there. It's a little bit cooking. We're going to have dinner, because I'm eating dinner, first meal actually without Lincoln. First real meal without Lincoln. And we're talking all about self-shame. Seems like a crazy subject to have over dinner. But it's how I've been feeling for the past week ever since dropping Little Man off. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that I guess that I'm feeling this way. Let's see what we can do here. I gotta try to push it back a little bit. Okay. As you saw, we got some wicked sweet potato fries with like a salad that has sweet potato, organic strawberries, nuts, apples, lettuce, balsamic vinaigrette, olive oil on top with salt. It's just all that goodness, man. I haven't been feeding myself the best foods lately, and this meal is the first meal that I'm actually really looking forward towards, because I guess it's a meal that ends the self-shame journey. Whew. Oh man, I make some good salads. Really good salad. This past week and a half, ever really since I posted that video where I was struggling and kind of went on a little bit of rant, I have been just shaming myself for everything. Everything wrong that I do, everything that I didn't do, and this whole journey, even this week without Lincoln. I ended up going to Revelstoke and I felt off. I just felt really off, and I was always like shaming myself for that I shouldn't be in Revelstoke, enjoying the time, even though I had the chance to go skiing. I had the chance to explore the mountains, to go for beautiful walks. There's a part of me that was like shaming myself for doing that when I should have been at home working. And it was wild. I was just in this huge self-shame loop. And there's parts of me that still feels like I'm shaming myself, or in kind of like that self-shame space. And I wanted to talk about this because I think this is a thing that a lot of parents experience, that probably don't know that they experience, or maybe they do know, and maybe you do know that you've experienced it, or you experience shame, and you can tell when you're like ashamed of yourself or you're in that state. Because to be in shame, according to David Hawkins, he's a PhD psychologist and he's done a lot of spiritual work. He talks about shame being one of the lowest frequencies that we can be. And I'm a believer that everything is a vibration, hence good vibes. That saying good vibes means good vibrations, means vibrations. Everything is a vibration. The better something vibrates, the more in harmonious with nature and with the world, with the universe, with God, with Source, with Buddha, Christ, whatever we want to call it, everything is. And so if we're vibrating at joy, which is a much higher frequency, we're feeling pretty good. But if we're vibrating at shame, we're feeling pretty low. And when we vibrate at a certain frequency that's lower, like shame, we tend to shame ourselves, we tend to judge ourselves, we tend to be hard on ourselves, we tend to be critical, we tend to just be really negative towards ourselves as well as others, because everything is just a projection from there on out. And that's why we don't necessarily want to be in shame. It's okay that we're in shame. It's okay that I'm in shame and was experiencing shame over these past couple weeks. But that's not a space where I want to be in, because it's always a choice. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about while I pretty much talk to you guys and not eat dinner, because I like talking, and when I eat, I don't get to talk. So maybe I'll have a fry in between. Is catching yourself in shame and shifting. And I wanted to share this because, again, I was experiencing shame like nobody's business. Just shaming myself for everything. Like, I didn't post on Instagram for 2 weeks. I shamed myself for that. I didn't show up for Lincoln. I shamed myself for that. I started watching movies and staying up like super late when I had Lincoln. I shamed myself for doing that. I fell off routine. I shamed myself for doing that. I got angry sometimes at Lincoln and used my frustration towards Lincoln. And I shamed myself for doing that. I shamed myself just for doing everything. That's kind of what happens when I'm in a cycle of shame. It's like I just shame and shame. And the crazy thing is that everything has a flip side. It's all in how we want to look at it. I'm a big believer that Our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts create the space in which we get to live. Our thoughts create our experience in which we get to. Because your thoughts, like I'm sure you've imagined this and had this experience yourself, where it's like 1 minute you're just super happy, super joyful, super up in the air, in love with everything. And then the next minute you're not. The next minute you might be defeated. The next minute you might be self-critical. The next minute you might be judging the shit out of yourself. The next minute you might be super negative. Well, that's just because we're choosing to give thoughts that power. It's like we have a choice to look at, and I have a choice to look at all the ways in which I should shame myself, and I have a choice to look at and have gratitude and appreciation for the things that I've learned and for what I've learned even in that shame, because that's the flip side. For me, it's like I looked at this past month and I was looking at it from the space of like, oh, I'm just going to shame myself for everything. But the truth is that's the best month I've ever had with Lincoln. Like, I showed up for those first 2 weeks like a boss. My routine was dialed in. I was working out. I was dialing things in. I was working. My days at work were productive. When I'd have Lincoln, I was just super present with him. I was super patient. And then afterwards, it's when things began to fall. But there's so much to learn from that. I have so much now looking at it in gratitude and appreciation for what that has taught me. Because it has shown me and taught me that in the last couple weeks, I start to drip into chaos. I start to kind of be a mess. I start to like let loose on the structure of my routine. I start to kind of like stay up late. And it's all those things that I know aren't the healthiest for me, but I tend to do them anyways. And for me, it's a learning lesson of like, hey, cool, look at that. And also gratitude and appreciation for where I was a year ago. A year ago, I was not doing these things. A year ago, I wasn't treating Lincoln the way that I am now. And even in my bad week or 2 week or week and a half period that I had with him, that was probably relative to where I was 2 years ago, the best that it could have been. And so it's like, we can always look at things two ways. We can look at things from the side of shame, or we can look at things from the gratitude and appreciation that we learned and who we are becoming because of what we experienced. Because everything that I did this past month that I was shaming myself for, I could have looked and appreciated and praised myself for doing better than the month before. And that's something that I wasn't choosing to see. That's because I was choosing to be critical and hard on myself, even though I should have been showing myself some love. Now that's what I believe it is. It's like when you recognize that you're shaming yourself, or you're being hard on yourself, or you're being critical or negative or down, it's like give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. We are doing the best that we possibly can be doing. And that is beautiful. Because if we could do any better, then we would be doing better. Like, that is the thing. If we could be doing better, we would be doing it. But the tools and the consciousness and the things in which we're doing right now is the best that we can do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this. We'd be doing what was better. And the present moment is all that we have, you know? So whatever I did, whenever I got angry with Lincoln, or whenever I pretty much shamed Lincoln, projected my internal shame onto him, or was negative with him, or was bitter, or was condescending, or was short, it's like, give myself a break on those, because I'm human as well. You know, like, we are both human, having this human experience, learning and becoming better and doing our best. And to me, that is a success. That is a success. And that's how I want to choose to look at it. So from today going forward, I'm stepping out of shame and stepping back into the light. Because that's a choice, and that's part of why I'm making this video as well, because I haven't made any videos in the last 2.5 weeks. And you'd be like, what? Say what? Because I was ashamed. I didn't want to shoot because I wanted to look perfect, or I wanted to be perfect, or I wanted to do this. But then today it was like, just, hey, like, just film this. It kind of just happened. It was like, you should just have supper and share what your experience is. And so this is what I'm doing. This is how it helps me, I guess, be seen. Because when I'm in shame, I just want to hide. I just want to run away. I just want to say, woo, but I don't want to be seen. But that's not how I want to be. That's not how I want to feel. I want to show up. So that's what I'm committed to doing. To enjoying these sweet potato fries. Oh man. Sweet potato fries, honestly, healthy, easiest thing you can possibly do. Grab some sweet potatoes from the market, cut them up. I microwave mine to soften them up a little bit. You could boil them too. Bake them at 450 with a little bit of olive oil for maybe 10 minutes max, flipping every once in a while. And they're honestly unreal. Like, they're the best fries I've ever had. And super healthy. That was this rant for today. Thank you for joining me for supper, even though I'm just starting to eat supper now. So thank you for that. I love and appreciate you for joining me and for being here with me and for being on this journey with me. Like, only want this community to grow, to become stronger, to be better. And I really want a community, like, this is the vision, is to build a community of like-minded single fathers, single mothers, single parents that are all experiencing this journey, and that a community that helps us become better, helps us become stronger, helps us catch us when we're shaming ourselves, and helps us transition into self-love and giving ourselves a break, because life is hard. Life is hard to do this all on our own, and we don't need to do that. So much love, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe just by clicking the red button, and smash the like button. I love saying that. I don't know why. Smash the like button. Comment. Do you resonate with this video? What in this video resonated with you? Have you felt shame before? Are you maybe in shame? Has this helped you transition from shame and show you a little bit more self-love and give you, I guess, that idea and that slap in the face? Wake up! You show yourself love. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a break. Yeah, just thank you.
You can hit this part with a melody.